I spoke with Marcus Theater executives and they say no screenings of the movie will be canceled at any 3 of our local theaters, and they're also looking into safety precautions. Reporting live, Danielle Miller, WDAY 6 News. If this plane would have not attached to the door, it could have potentially rolled out, causing this nearly 2,000-pound door to come crashing down on the cockpit, which would have forced this pilot to replace an entire plane rather than just a garage door. Damage didn't stop at the airport. Several trees here at the Fairview Cemetery were blown over, making for a busy cleanup day. Yeah, Dana, Kirsten, the weather is perfect out here. The grills are hot, and all of the finger-licking goodness is being served right here at Rib Fest. If you are planning to come out to Rib Fest, it runs through Saturday. Gates open are from 11 to 11. Admission is just $5 per person. Kids 12 and under are free. Reporting live here from Rib Fest, Danielle Miller, WDAY 6 News.
And Danielle, again, what are you bringing us back?
Cheese curds, of course, everyone's favorite.
All right.
Who needs ribs?
Thank you, Danielle.
With the 5K starting only an hour or so away, these streets will be filling up fast. If you're planning to come out to cheer on any of the runners, you're asked to give yourself plenty of time to get a good spot. If you do live along the race route, they're asking you to please park your car in the driveway or along a street that's not affected in the route. But one of the main do's to this race is to cheer as loud as possible. Reporting live from the Fargo Dome, Danielle Miller, WDAY 6 News. And there's even something out there for you food lovers too. Since every TV is connected to the internet, all you have to do is type in your favorite recipe website, and then you have it right before your eyes. To view a complete course map and all of the roads that are going to be closed, log on to our website, WDAY.com, and click the easy link. You can also watch the race live on Saturday from our website. Reporting live, Danielle Miller, WDAY 6 News. This construction site of the new West Fargo High School is now shut down after the accident happened late this afternoon. A 28-foot steel beam fell on the 30-year-old male victim. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim's name will be released once all of the family has been notified. I reached out to Scott's Electric and the West Fargo School District. Both declined to comment. It's still unsure tonight as to when construction will resume here at the site. Reporting live in West Fargo, Danielle Miller, WDAY 6 News. While it may only take 15 minutes to get 31 injections over your face and your neck, Dr. Knutson says it's not just a quick fix. Students can not only take a picture and show their work, they can also record their voice as they work through the problem.
Most of them, but you can reduce the 2 and the 8.
1, 5 out of 15.
9.55, 8, 9, and 10. Thank you. 45 cents is your change.
You get so you try just about anything to try to relieve it.
It took Anderson just 20 short hours from the start, the planning and design phase, to this award-winning finish. Police say the deer were disoriented and panicked as they showed up near the Moorhead Center Mall. At a special service outside the small west central Minnesota town of Hewitt, close to 100 people gathered to honor a man who fought and was injured in the Civil War. Edgar Lewis has a living great-granddaughter in Salt Lake City. She wrote a letter thanking those who organized the day to give her loved one a respectful ceremony. An inmate at the Clay County Jail will be adding time to his stay after police found a shank in his cell. Horses are taking the place of counselors and helping single moms in the metro. It's a parent's worst nightmare, but it's now reality for this father. It was late Friday night when Lynn Mickelson heard the knock on the door.
When 2 troopers show up at the door, I know, something is bad.
His 36-year-old daughter, Allison Ducher, her 34-year-old husband, Aaron, and their 18-month-old daughter, Brielle, were killed by a drunk driver on I-94 just west of Jamestown. Lynn describes his daughter as energetic, full of life. And as for his blue-eyed granddaughter,
Brielle was here in our living room, and they're playing in her toys, climbing in her box here, playing with toys. It was such a wonderful, wonderful thing to see.
The story gets even more sad. Lynn says the accident didn't just take 4 lives, but 5.
She was going to have another baby, and the other baby was expected approximately around Christmas time of this year.
Allison's brother Eric is being comforted by friends and family, who without, he says, he wouldn't make it.
Praying to God. I mean, it's it. It's friends and family.
He lost his best friend, but says it's the loss of an entire family that's hard.
Because not only did I lose a sister, I lost a brother-in-law and a niece, and either a niece or a nephew.
The one glitter of hope, or shining star as Lynn calls it. With all of the sadness, both Allison and Brielle were organ donors, giving the gift of sight.
Today, those eyes or someplace else looking at somebody. Somebody got some good out of this tragedy.
This tragedy has Lynn urging all parents to hug their children and tell them how much they're loved.
I won't get that chance again with any of these. I won't get that chance. I wished I could have held Brielle one more time. And Allie too.
The biggest thing this morning father wants to tell people is one bad decision to get behind the wheel can lead to a lifetime of hurt.
You look at that picture and you want to look at that and see if you want to snuff out that life just because you want a couple of beers. See if it's really worth it.
Reporting in Colfax, Danielle Miller.
At about 3:30 in the morning, we could hear my neighbor Nick screaming.
It was then Tamara Machenbacher knew something was wrong. Not yet knowing the unit next door was engulfed in flames, she immediately ran outside.
And when I came outside, he was already outside of the window, like you could see over there, outside of the window screaming for his roommate.
After she saw this, she ran inside and grabbed her own 2 children. Once she was outside, she experienced an act of heroism.
He jumped. I mean, he just, you know, your adrenaline kicks in and you become the person you are, and he went in and got his roommate.
Jaeger jumped from this 2-story window to escape the burning home. He then realized his roommate Steve was still inside the home, so he ran back up these stairs and came back out with his roommate. Although neighbors and community members view Nick Jaeger as a hero, fire officials say it's never safe to run back inside a burning building.
You could have encountered heavy flames, you could have encountered heavy smoke. You know, if the fire was kind of in a smoldering state and it got a blast of air that it needed, you know, he could have encountered a flashover. There was numerous things he could have encountered.
Assistant Fire Chief Gary Lorenz says that's what firefighters are trained to do, so they should always be the ones doing the rescuing.
Stay out and let us come and take care of it, because to go back into those environments, I mean, the gases and the superheated gases and the type of stuff that's in the smoke, you can be overcome instantly.
Dangerous or not, if it wasn't for one selfless roommate, another one may not be alive.
We live in a community where everybody helps, and it truly showed the heroes that we live around every day.
It was around 9:30 at night on June 2nd, 2009, when Vince Olsted was driving home from Steele, North Dakota on a hot summer night.
I was unable to see the oncoming headlights.
He never knew within a few short minutes into his trip back home, his life would be forever changed.
Unbeknownst to me was a vehicle coming towards me, westbound in the eastbound lanes. The driver had apparently gotten on the off-ramp.
That driver then hit Olsted in his pickup truck, going about 70 miles per hour.
The driver was determined to have a blood alcohol content of 0.25.
He was pronounced dead at the scene, while Olsted prepared to fight for his life.
Things like this never happen to you, to me. It's always somebody else that we read about, and I never ever considered something like this would affect my life.
Olsted spent months in the hospital, recovering from countless surgeries. He even lost so much blood he is now completely blind.
A lot of adjustments to being totally blind, and wondering how in the world am I going to get by in life.
Although he won't be able to see his youngest son play college football, or take his oldest son pheasant hunting, or even see his wife's face.
Obviously, I miss not being able to see my family.
He is just happy to be alive, and to this day still forgives the driver who took so much away.
I guess I don't want to be in a situation where I can't forgive others for things against me, because I suspect there's some things that God could look at me for and say, how would you feel if I told you I couldn't forgive you for that?
Danielle Miller, WDAY 6 News. Taryn Erickson, her husband Terry, and their 2 kids are home after spending 7 days in a Minneapolis hospital. The family was hit by another boat on Big Cormorant Lake on the 4th of July, and after another passenger from the other boat helped, they took off.
And I think they were in shock. I think they were scared. I think they had a lot of emotions that they were dealing with, and I just really feel like if this accident, if you rewound this and it happened again, I don't think they would make the same decisions.
Terry suffered a broken fibula and broken pelvis. He had to have 2 surgeries to piece together his bones and has 31 staples across his body.
It's just not him he's the guy that fixes everything around the house. He's the big strong, does everything. And so this is extremely hard for him not to do anything.
Taryn says the amount of support the family has received has been unbelievable. The neighbors even came together to build this ramp and get the entire house ready for Terry's return. And now the family is left wondering how someone could just hit them and leave, and if they'll ever be able to go on the water again after this traumatic experience.
We've had better 4th of Julys, that's for sure. I know that, you know, we'll never go on a boat at night again, even if it is to, you know, relax with our family and watch fireworks.
Even after the financial, physical, and mental burden of the entire accident, Taryn is still thankful for what didn't happen rather than what did.
To think that your kids could have been taken away from you.
Taryn says Terry's recovery can take up to 6 months, but until then, they hope the person responsible will come forward so they can have closure. Danielle Miller, WDAY 6 News.